Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Franklin here. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe. That is the best way to support me for free. Pokemon is dead, so that's why I haven't been really been posting anything on my channel. But I feel like it'd be a good time to talk about theoretical stuff, and that theoretical stuff being Generation 10. When is Generation 10 gonna come out? Now, I personally hope that it does come out in 2026. That's just me. If they're going on based on traditions, it's probably gonna be late 2025. The only issue with that, however, is that with the release of Pokemon Legends ZA already confirmed for next year, you don't want overlap on games. I think they learned their lesson from Pokemon Legends Arceus and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and of course the pretty messy and buggy game that was Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So I'm hoping Game Freak and the Pokemon Company and other collaborating, developing video game companies understand that you need to take time with these games. We're in an era where people, the fans, the communities, those who are vloggers and do reviews on websites, we're getting pretty stingy and we're getting pretty critical when it comes to video games that are priced at $60 to $70 each, if not more, depending on any additions you buy, and they come out so crappy. That's something that a lot of companies, looking at you, Activision, and looking at you, 2K and EA, that they got to take their time to make games. Now, obviously, they want yearly releases, but I feel like that just doesn't work in the modern era of video games. You have to take your time. And I'm glad that Pokemon themselves are starting to realize that, hey, we need an extra time, a whole ass year for Pokemon Legends ZA. And I'm glad they're doing that. I'm glad. We haven't even had any news or any updates whatsoever. So I'm kind of glad that they're taking that approach. And I have a feeling if that approach ends up creating a successful product, Generation 10 might have that extra year delay as well in order to create a more polished and more natural flowing product. Complete opposite of what Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was in its initial launch. So, what are the couple things that might make Generation 10 bang or bust? Well, obviously the biggest question and obviously the biggest elephant in the room is, when the hell are we getting Nintendo Switch 2? I'm not really sure if it's wise for Game Freak to create a game for a Nintendo Switch system that it's basically at its near end. And the Nintendo Switch 2 rumors have been ramping up pretty damn good right now. The rumor mill is just buzzing every day. I feel like there's been a lot of rumors, and this actual was a presentation that was actually put it out online, and then it got quickly shut down. So we don't know what exactly was that all about. I do keep up with that kind of stuff, and it seems as if the leaks and rumors, it's just there, but I feel like there's just a mounting amount of pressure of Nintendo to actually put out something that's a quality, because the Nintendo Switch, let's be honest, it's very old. I mean, it's innovative and it's really great for what it is, but it definitely needs a massive upgrade. And I mean a really, really massive upgrade, from the screen to the hardware to the controls. And the Joy-Con drift, unfortunately, is still a thing. And there was a class action lawsuit about that. So we're hoping that they put all that away by making a system that actually works and not making something that is archaic. It's 2024. We need to have a system that actually works and that's actually innovative and it's actually ahead of its time. I know. It's so much to ask for, right? So now we're going to talk about Generation 10 in itself. What exactly is Generation 10 going to be about? Where is it going to be at? Well, let's do some process of elimination. We already had Unova. That was probably, based on New York. We already had the Kalos region. That was France. And, of course, the majority of the first three games, or the three generations, I should say, were based on monuments and cultural landscapes of Japan. So, where do we go from here? I personally believe that a game in Brazil or based on Brazil is pretty damn good, or even like South America in general. I think Brazil has a lot of culture and a lot of rich, organic icons that can basically, have a game on its own, if not multiple games. Obviously, people want Australia. Australia, again, has a lot of animals and a lot of marsupials that are based off of, the Pokemon that we've seen already in the games themselves. So it'd be cool to see those Pokemon in their organic states. And then an African game. Anywhere in Africa, that'd be pretty cool as well. And India's has been also been there as been the polls as well. I do think those four, and maybe Spain and Portugal. I mean, Spain. I can't believe I just said that. That's Scarlet and Violet. Duh, Franklin, of course. But anyways, Brazil, Australia, African region, and India. I think those are gonna be like my top four. I can't believe I said Spain. Jesus Christ, where have you been, Franklin? Anyways, what do people expect from Generation 10? Well, I've been reading up on a lot of criticism of Generation 10, and they've been saying quite a bit interesting things. Side quests that do not diverge out of our main stories. It's kind of like similar to like what we saw in the Hoenn region. I think the Shoal Cave that was mentioned here in this Reddit post was pretty interesting because I feel like when you look back into Pokemon games of the current generations, it seems like they're falling short. Now, of course, the DLC's purpose was to make up for that kind of stuff, but I do think Pokemon games are starting to become shallow. Now, I'm happy that they're open world as well. I just don't really see Pokemon games like yes, there's stuff you can collect, there's terra raids you can do every day and all that stuff, but outside of that, when you complete the main story, what else is there to do? Complete the Pokedex? That's pretty staple. Like that should be a given in every single Pokemon game. Or increasing your rank of your trainer ID card. Yeah, I mean that's something that you can do, and it's been implemented in the games for a very long time. I also am a firm believer that home integration, since day one, should be a thing. We should not be waiting 3-4 months for Pokemon Home. I think it's just ridiculous. Dynamic UI and UX, basically user interface stuff, instead of it making it choppy, make it more good. More lore. I've been a very big proponent of this. If you're going to give us a mythical Pokemon in the same generation that comes out, please give it a story. Remember the days where Darkrai had its own freaking island? Do you remember Deoxys having its own island as well? We want to see stuff like that. Magearna would have been a very good Pokemon to have its own story because, my God, it has its own movie. Even Volcanion was a part of that movie too. It's just unfortunate that mythical Pokemon are only getting distributed via a mystery gift, and that's it. It's just a code, and you don't do anything for it. You don't work for it, and it is what it is. And lastly, what I expect from Generation 10 is, again, not be buggy or glitchy from day one. Because that day one launch, y'all remember that? Oh my lord. I think, if I remember saying this in a couple of videos already on this channel, but when I first played Scarlet and Violet, before the patches, oh lord, I think my game crashed twice. So I'm hoping Generation 10, whether it's in 2025 or 2026, I'm hoping it actually comes out fluid, and that way we can all shut our mouths and Game Freak can make more money off of us. But anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think. It's your boy Franklin signing out. Peace.